Eyewitness News is bringing you tomorrow's headlines today. And this morning, we are diving into the lack of enforcement on electronic gaming rooms here in the Triangle, even though they are illegal. Brian Gordon writes about it in this week's News and Observer. Brian, good to see you. He joins us in studio. I'm thinking back to about a year ago. I was doing a series of stories with all of the Raleigh mayoral candidates. And the guy named Paul Fitz was running for mayor. Yeah. And this was his big issue. We wanted to shut down these illegal gaming halls and make a legal casino in Raleigh and use the money to help the city. You visited more than a dozen of these gaming rooms. If you've never seen them, you have seen them. They're called many times internet cafes. What stood out most to you?
I think their prevalence around the area really stood out. That they're not hidden. Some of them call themselves internet cafes, and their signage really leans into like a place to fax, a place to print, and then you walk in and it's just slot machines and other types of games, and often the internet doesn't work. And then others are just called, there's a place in Raleigh called Cash Cow, and there are places that have dollar signs all over. And so it's not a lot of hiding of what they're doing. It's just very much out in the open. Anyone can kind of walk in. You have to get buzzed in, there's security, but they're not hidden. They're
and operating with impunity right now. What made you decide to investigate these places?
It was me and some friends were out at dinner in Cary, and then after dinner we walked around and we saw one of these establishments, and like you, I had heard about these before. And yeah, it was really that question of like, I think gambling's illegal in this state, so how do these operate? And I was curious to see what gray areas they kind of work in. And yeah, what I found is that elsewhere in the state, sheriffs, police will have raided these, shut them down. But in the Triangle, over the last 10 years, there were some raids 11, 12 years ago, but in the past decade, there really haven't been any.
How much money are we talking about here? I mean, did you get any sense of how much revenue these places are generating?
No hard figures. They work only in cash, so you can't use cards. And so they just have a lot of cash on hand. I saw some very large wads of bills during some of my times there. Wow. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's, having talked to some operators, you kind of start small. You might rent out the equipment where the people get a certain percentage of it, and then eventually you buy your equipment. And so my sense is that these are kind of individual operators, owners. There's not like one giant conglomerate that's running 12 of these in the area.
Well, people are going. There is lots of money in.
They were open. Some
open all the time.
24/7.
Brian Gordon, thank you so much. Thank you for your reporting. You can read more right now on the N&O website or in Sunday's paper. Brian, thanks.
Thank you.